Back for another week of talking absolute bollocks about football. And so what we got today, we're going to go through all the fixtures from last weekend. Some absolutely ridiculous, insane results. And we're going to do a little Champions League prediction. So we'll start off with the fixtures. Let's talk about the game of the week. We'll just go straight into it. Game of the week, if you love being bored to death by two very mediocre teams. Palace 0, Fulham 0. Do we need to say any more, or can we just move on from that game?
I wasn't sure if he was getting on the Man United game or not, but yeah, boring.
Horrendous.
Really boring. But you know what? It's like we said last week. It's two teams that are going to be safe. Like, I mean, I know that they're not thinking already. Oh yeah, we'll just wing it because we're going to be safe. But you know, they're very evenly matched, and no, they're not like scrapping at the bottom of the table. Like, I just think that they're the kind of teams that when it gets to like the 75th, 80th minute, they'll settle for the 0-0. They'll settle for the draw because it's a point. They don't need the free.
The two most mediocre teams in the league, just average.
Yeah.
Just,
They've got no ambition of being
like
further up the table, have they? Really, they're just going to be. They're happy where they are. They're never going to get relegated. Yeah, they're not going to get relegated. If they're really lucky, they might hit a conference position, maybe. But I think there's better teams.
But you know what, Fulham, didn't they only come up last season? I mean, if we're saying they're one of the most mediocre teams in the league, that's a compliment for to do that in that one season.
I mean,
that's not bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's much worse than them, but like Baron said, there's no ambition between the two of them, is there? Really? There's just nothing there.
I mean, Crystal Palace went back to their 75-year-old manager to keep him safe. Like, it's not screaming, I want to win the league, is it? I'm not saying like Palace would ever win the league because they need massive investment, wouldn't they? They need to be taken over by like the Arabs or whatever. But it's keeping you in the Premier League, isn't it? It's not, you're not chasing anything, are you?
What you're saying is right. There's only reason Roy Hodgson is there is to keep him afloat.
Because there's so much money in the Premier League. You know, if you're a club that's like Palace, who've been in the Premier League for, mate, it must be 10 years now. I don't even know how long it is. Could be more, could be a little bit less. But the money that they generate, they must make profits, mad profits.
Yeah, because they always produce a couple of gems, don't they? They sell on.
Oh, yeah, they always fill their stadium out. Very rarely I see their stadium like empty. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is,
Palace, to be fair.
The problem is with Palace is that like Fulham, other than Paulinho, Fulham don't really have any like standouts. Like Palace obviously have Elise and Eze. How long will they put up with? Oh yeah, we're just going to stay in the Premier League before. I mean, I know Elise signed a new contract like in the summer, but how long are they going to put up with it before they're like, well, hang on a minute, this club's showing no ambition. Let's go join.
Zaha did it for like 10 years.
Yeah,
he did, but I don't see them two both sticking around.
Went to Man United, then went back to Palace.
Exactly. He only went back to Palace because it didn't work out at United, but he did go, didn't he?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, but surely he could have got a better team after that. But he didn't work out for Man United.
He was still quite young at the time as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. Maybe. Right, we'll move on from that one. I thought we talked about that a bit more than I thought we was going to. Good old 0-0. Right, Luton still without a win. I'm still on for my prediction. Yeah, but right, they should have got more, though, shouldn't they? 10 men against Wolves.
Yeah, and that's not a good Wolves team. There's been a lot better Wolves team than that. That's a poor Wolves team. I've tipped them for relegation this season, but I'll be honest, I didn't realise how bad the rest of the teams are. So they'll probably stay up on like, what's the word? Like merit almost. Because there's worse teams than them.
Yeah.
I think this could be a season, like a record-breaking season of low points staying in the Premier League. Does that make sense?
100%. I agree.
Because what's the normal magic marker? About 40 points, isn't it?
Yeah, once you get to about 40, you're safe.
I reckon you're looking at like 32 will probably keep you out this season, the way some of these teams are playing.
Maybe even less.
The top 8 are just spanking everyone, really, aren't they? They're just beating everyone.
Do you think they should have won it?
Do you think that this is the worst Premier League, like quality-wise? Is this the worst Premier League that we've ever had for the teams.
Yes and no, because I'd say, like I just said a minute ago, the top sort of, say, 7 or 8 teams are class, aren't they? They're good teams. Probably the best we've ever had. We've never had 8 teams challenging for positions. Because say Aston Villa do sort of pull their fingers out a bit and sort them out, and you wouldn't not think that they might not get top 6, top 4, would you? A lot of people tip them to do challenging. Brighton just keep winning. They just keep winning. I said it last week. I don't know what to say about Brighton. They're just amazing, aren't they? They're just unbelievable.
I'm the same as Baron. There's I think there's 4 or 5 teams that are absolutely dog shit. Like, I don't know. Like, half the Championship teams are better than Luton. I know Luton went up last year, so they was obviously one of the top 3. They wouldn't go up again if they went down right now. They would not go up again.
No way. No chance.
They're a mid-table Championship team right now. Like the quality wise. I'm sticking my prediction they won't win a game. If they was going to win a game, it would have been that.
And they went 1-0 down.
10 men, and still went 1-0 down and only pulled back a point. They're done already.
Wasn't it a penalty?
Finished.
No, it wasn't a penalty, was it? Was it a penalty?
Yeah, it was a penalty. Yeah.
Was it?
So they didn't even score a goal from open play.
No, they still haven't, have they? I think his other goal was a penalty, wasn't it?
No, someone scored a free kick, didn't they? Like a header. But
so
they were already losing.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a set piece, technically. Yeah, it was a set piece.
Yeah.
But you could argue they haven't scored an open play goal yet, I don't think.
They're already done for me. I think. City Forest.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I thought this would be a cricket score, like a rugby score. And then I don't know, like Forest sort of woke up a bit, didn't they? And sort of worked out how to defend. And then I haven't actually, do you know what? I haven't seen the Rodri thing. Something I haven't actually looked into because I don't know if anyone knows. I've been busy moving.
I want to quickly mention the Rodri thing. This is why VAR isn't a great thing, because when you slow that down, that looks horrible. It looks like he's grabbed him by the throat for a good few seconds, because he slowed right down. He doesn't. He went like that in real time. He literally goes like that, pushes him. Yeah.
So do you think it's a red card?
Down, it's like it looks like a movie. That's what it looks like. But normal time, it's just literally he just pushes him. It's not a red card.
Have they tried to rescind it yet? Do we know?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But what I want to say about that is it a bit naive from Rodri? Like, he knows his VAR.
Massively.
It's like he's an experienced player. Like, he is like, he's not a kid. He's put his hands up to the guy's throat. They're cruising against Nottingham Forest. He's now out for 3 games. He's going to miss the Arsenal game if it doesn't get appealed. It just seems like it was just stupid. Like, I just don't understand why he would do it.
People do, though. They lose their edge. Casemiro did it last season, didn't they? Like with that Will Hughes and whoever he was playing for. I can't think of the game.
Palace, was it?
Palace, that was it. He grabs him by the throat, doesn't he? But like, you just know if you raise your hands above probably chest height to a player, you're going to see a red card straight away. Yeah, he could have just pushed him over. Like I said, I didn't see the context, so I don't really know exactly what happened. But yeah, he could have just pushed him over, couldn't he?
It's not a red card. When they play it in normal time, he's literally just pushed him. I don't think he's got him by the throat. It's like here. But like when you see it in slow motion, it looks like John Wick is after someone. It's just, and you can't just slow it down so it looks bad.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Play the
probably
real
not
time thing and see him literally just does that.
Yeah. It's probably not a red for me, but I just think that he's given the referee a decision to make. That's his own fault.
Yeah, definitely.
Which you don't want to, do you?
Mm-hmm.
What do we think about Forest though? Because I actually still think they look all right.
I also thought they'd be in trouble this season, but yeah, I must admit, I think they do look all right.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think they'll be that team that finishes 14th, 15th again.
Yeah. Did they have like 70% possession in the second half? I know City had 10 men. I'm sure in like the second half.
I do know they had a couple of good. I had like Sky Sports News on, and they definitely were in the game in the second half. But I mean, you can't really give Man City a 2-0 lead and expect to get out of the game, can you?
No. We all think they're going to win the league again.
Yeah. Said it at the start of the season, and I said Liverpool be second as well, and it's looking like it might be.
To be fair, they don't look that good, but they just keep winning.
Yeah,
they just keep winning.
Yeah. Next one, I'm really surprised by this result and the performance. Everton 3-1 against Brentford.
Yeah.
First half of that was boring. The first half of that was really boring, and then in the second half, it was just like end to end. It was really good. It was entertaining. I thought,
I thought Everton actually looked all right.
Yeah,
I don't really. I know Brentford are missing Tony.
To stay fit, didn't they?
Yeah, 100%. He needs to stay
fit.
Him
but I think stay fit.
Is it? Beto?
I like that Beto.
He
I like
him.
Look
too bad.
Yeah, I do like him. What I've seen of him so far, I've only seen him cut the games, obviously, but he holds the ball up well. He does run. He just needs to score now, doesn't he? He needs to play a goal in.
Andrew, what do you think about Brentford so far?
With that game aside, if you take away the Everton game, I think Brentford have been pretty solid. I think that it was just a fluke
only
result.
One win. They've only won once.
Suppose they've picked up a lot of draws, haven't they?
When you take someone like Ivan Toney out of your team, you're going to struggle. I don't care who you are.
I mean, one of those draws was against Tottenham, first game of the season. I don't know. I mean, I think Brentford will be okay. I think, again, they'll probably be around 10th at the end of the season. I don't think Tony's going to play for them again. I think he'll be gone in January. No. I know Arsenal have stepped up their interest, but I know Chelsea are looking at him because Chelsea look at everyone that Arsenal look at.
Chelsea need to know. They need. If anyone needs an argument, it's Chelsea.
I know we'll get on to Chelsea, but it's just insane how many players that they've got and how many players they've bought, and they still haven't got it.
We'll get on to them. Right, next one. Burnley 0, Man United 1.
Now watch this. I mean, they're both awful. I'm going to throw it out there. They're both awful. I mean, Burnley looked the better team, and it was just Bruno Fernandes is obviously, as much as I hate the guy, he's obviously the best player on that pitch, like in them 22 players. And it was that moment of magic that won them the game.
What about the old what about the pass by Johnny Evans though?
Yeah, I mean, he ain't got to run for it, has he? He's only standing there. He's only crossing the ball. He's a professional footballer. He should be able to do this. I'm going full Roy Keane here. It's his job, mate. Yeah. So, I mean, his job to pass the ball. I'm going to go full Roy Keane. It's his job. Nice header. Shame it was offside.
When Johnny Evans scored and it was offside, I was going to text you guys and just say, it's 2023 and Johnny Evans has just scored a goal for Man United against Vincent Kompany's Burnley.
It's crazy.
I feel like Johnny Evans must be older than Vincent Kompany. Got to be, isn't he? Got to be well older.
I'm going to have to look at that.
It's got to be, isn't he? I feel like Johnny Evans has been around forever.
You two talk about the game. I'm going to have to look at this now.
Well, I've just seen that Johnny Evans is 35. There's no way Kompany's younger than 35.
No. Kompany's about 38, isn't he?
It's got to be. Yeah. He's got to be late 30s.
But I mean, it's again with Man United, manager's off his head, I think. I just don't understand where he comes out with it. And moaning about his injuries, moaning about this. Mate, you spent 500 million in free transfer windows. If you can't build a squad or buy a squad that's good enough, with 500 million, you need to seriously looking at. Do you know what I mean? And having people like Johnny Evans starting games, you should be embarrassed, really. You know, maybe it's a message to the board saying I need more money. But I mean, how much money are you going to give a guy?
Yeah, exactly. I do think the striker will come good. I think he's getting in all the right positions. I think I think he actually looks quite good. I think once he gets a couple, he'll be.
Apparently, he's going to be rapid, isn't he?
He's quick, strong.
But I mean, they didn't play the ball once over the top against Burnley. It's like they don't know what they're doing. Rashford's completely gone off the. He had a shot that went almost at the corner flag from about 10 yards out. I was thinking, what's he up to?
That's the thing I don't understand with United, because a lot of their fans are wanting Ten Hag in. I just don't get it, because I don't. Every time I've seen him, I've never seen. I don't understand what he's doing as they're a football team. How do they play? I don't actually know.
He's got all these young players as well that he sort of keeps around the squad, but then they're in the squad, they're out the squad. He's got one of England's best products, or like young products, and Jadon Sancho is just isolated completely and told him that he's not fit enough. I get it. Sometimes you've got to like say it how it is, but there's also times where maybe behind closed doors is better. Because obviously this ain't helping no one, is it?
Yeah, the Sancho stuff's weird, like really weird. Like they paid so much money for him, and it's just sort of come out of nowhere.
Yeah,
he'd be off
but
again.
The few times he's played for Man United, I think he's played quite well.
Yeah, I've got a question for you both. You were both adamant that Burnley stay up this year when we done our predictions. What are we thinking?
I think they're the most likely one to stay up.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of Luton and Sheffield United, and Burnley, they're most likely to stay up. I mean, they're not getting dictated now, are they? At home.
True, but they've got a worse goal difference than Luton.
Yeah. They are like Leeds. They're like Bielsa's Leeds. That's what they remind me of. But the thing is, they're not even scoring a lot of goals at the moment. Yeah, I think the one thing I will say is that come January, if you look at Luton, Burnley, and Sheffield United, I would say that Burnley are probably the only ones likely to spend to try and stay up. Whereas I think Sheffield United and Luton will probably just accept going down and trying to get back up again.
All down for me, all three of them. Sheffield United, Burnley, Luton. It'd be Luton, Sheffield United, then Burnley, but they're all down.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah,
can't see any of them staying up.
I can't think of teams worse. This is the thing. They're the three worst teams in the league.
Bournemouth, I think they could be in trouble. Bournemouth, Wolves.
Bournemouth pull out results though.
Yeah,
they do pull out.
They've only got 3 points. They're fourth from bottom. Bournemouth.
Yeah, haven't won a game yet.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean there are teams. I think, like I said earlier, this is going to be a season where I think there are like 5 teams that are just awful. Probably Wolves, Bournemouth. Well, Wolves have been right actually. That's probably been a bit harsh on Wolves. But they haven't picked up any results.
No,
they're playing all right football, but they're not getting no results.
Yeah, the one win.
That's not helpful. Bournemouth, I can't believe they sat Gary O'Neill and put that other geezer in charge, who's never even been in the Premier League. It's weird.
Talking to Gary O'Neill, I really like him. Like I really like Gary O'Neill. I like the way he gets balls playing. Like I'm not saying he's like the best manager in the league or anything, but I think he was really unlucky to have been sacked from Bournemouth.
I think he was unlucky to be sacked, but I mean at the same time, that's what it is, isn't it? They're like the owners, like we said. Different.
Yeah, you want to go further. A Gary O'Neill, he's not going to get you a top 10 finish.
Well, that might be a bit harsh. He
won't.
He's at the start of his managerial career, isn't he? He's not like a 60-year-old man, is he? He's probably just early 40s. He's learning the game, isn't he?
If he weren't called Gary O'Neill and he was called something, Spanish or Brazilian, he was no way being treated.
He still would only have one win this season. He's poor manager.
He's at a poor team.
Oh, yeah, I was just about to say that.
Who didn't get a transfer window because he joined like 2 days before the season started. He's been put in a shit position
and lost one of their best players.
Yeah, literally.
He's
got Ruben Neves.
Just lost Ruben Neves. The Man City, the one that Man City brought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been put in a shit position.
Raul Jimenez went to Fulham.
Yeah, I think he's an all right manager.
I'm not saying he's an all right manager. I just think it's a bit harsh to slag him right off, and he's only been in a job for 5 minutes.
Championship manager.
He might be.
Yeah, probably will be next year.
Yeah. No, I think that'll be all right. Right, the next one is, I'll just let you two talk about this. Whoever wants to go first. Arsenal 2, Spurs 2. I would just like to say I predicted that.
You did predict it. What I will say is, first 20 minutes of it, I was sitting there on my sofa watching it, thinking, "Oh my god, we are actually going to win this league. We are awesome. We look absolutely brilliant, like ruining them. This Spurs team that's meant to be like the new and improved team." And it's like they took their foot off the gas a bit. So, and I'm telling you now, if Jesus scores that chance where he nicks the ball off Maddison and puts it in the top bin rather than blast over the bar, we win that game 5-0. I'm telling you now. But that's football, I suppose. But there's just a couple of. I mean, Spurs played really well. They probably did deserve the 2. Like even though I gave them both goals, like they probably did deserve the 2 draw in the end. Like they played well. But yeah, that first 20 minutes, I was like so taken back by Arsenal's performance. I was thinking, oh, wow, we are so good. And then I suppose the next 70 minutes is that's the good and the bad of Arsenal, I suppose. But I mean, to concede your second goal like they did, mate, that's schoolboy defending, isn't it?
I was watching.
It's not like
I was watching a TikTok the other day, and the Arsenal fans are still celebrating the goal as Son scored.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't go to the game obviously because I was moving, but I was actually texting in my group chats, like going, "What a goal! He's push on!" And then I heard the commentator say it, and I was like, "What?" And I looked up, and the ball was in the back of the net, and I was like, "I didn't send the messages. I didn't send the message."
delete.
Yeah, I was like, "What has happened?" Like, I had to rewind it to find out, and I was like, "Wow!" I was like, "Please tell me that just didn't happen." But you know what? Like Jorginho, and he does that. It's like, oh wow.
But I actually think, and I'm not a massive fan of Gary Neville. I do think he's an all right pundit. But what he said during the Arsenal celebrations was about, don't get carried away. It's still early. You still got a job to do. They were in the crowd. I know it was a North London derby, but I do think the players. I think the players maybe not all of the players, but Jorginho clearly lost concentration. Like some of the players are still celebrating in their heads.
I don't technically agree with that. I think when you score a goal, we celebrate, innit? It's just because a lot of people just go on Arsenal because we do over-celebrate. But, I mean, if you score a goal, you score a goal, don't you? You want to celebrate. I don't have
I don't mind celebrating. But
what it is, it's just Jorginho got the ball stuck underneath his feet. Yeah, and Maddison got on him quick. Was it Maddison? I think it was Maddison. Got onto him quick enough. But we'll think he took...
Anyone hear what Maddison said after the game?
Oh, what about
Saka done his darts thing?
Yeah,
his form
was
must have
terrible.
still doing the celebration. He was like, he must have still been doing the celebration when I turned him.
The one I saw was, what was it? His form was terrible.
Have you seen the edit where someone photoshopped Saka doing the celebration with Maddison turning him, and they photoshopped the two together? So
that
it looked like he was still doing it.
That is one of the worst bits of defending I've ever seen in my life, and I have no idea why then Ben White didn't go out to him. He just let him run. Maybe he thought the ball was going to go out. I don't know. No one closed him down.
I'll tell you what,
Ben White just stood
I
where
do want to shout out that Doggy, whatever his name is, because he had a terrible 15 minutes.
Well, this is another thing.
You're going to get battered here. But he kept composure.
I don't understand
the rest of
why
it dealt with him.
Yeah, I don't understand why Saka didn't carry on going at him. He sort of stopped getting at. Maybe because he found him out a bit. I don't know. But mate, when you're getting booked that early on in the game, you got to be running at that. You got to be running at him. You got to be knocking the ball down his channel every time, putting him on, making him get subbed off at half time. But they just never did.
But for a guy that young, North London derby gets rinsed first 15 minutes to fucking just come back out like that and fucking. I
just think it was a very weird Arsenal performance. I think. Like very strange. It was a bit of an old Arsenal team that I felt like watching a bit.
I do think. I mean, I don't want to. Jorginho did obviously make a mistake, but that side, like forgetting about that, I don't want to put it on Jorginho. But I do think that without Rice, we lost complete control of that game, and that wasn't because of Jorginho. That was because we didn't have Rice.
Yeah,
and I think Partey gives us that as well. But we didn't have either of those two, and the second half we were not in control. And I think
no disrespect to Jorginho, he is nowhere near the class of Declan Rice and Thomas Partey, is he? He's nowhere near. He's literally like third choice in that position. Well, they're all holding midfielders, aren't they? They're all holding midfielders.
No, but Jorginho is a luxury. He's a bit more of a luxury player.
He's a deep line playmaker.
He's meant to be in there to hold in front of, keep the ball and control it. But Thomas Partey and Declan Rice are miles above him.
I think you bring Jorginho when you want to slow a game down.
Yeah,
and just make little passes.
That's probably why. That's probably why he brought him on, didn't he? Rather than say, I don't know who else was on the bench, but he could have brought another defender on. He could have he could have done anything. Can he really?
The debate as well I've seen. What do you think, Baron, about Eddie Nketiah and Gabriel Jesus both starting?
That's how I would have started them. When I heard the rumor of Trossard being out, I thought, you start Jesus on the wing, start Eddie up top.
So you didn't think about Smith Rowe or Nelson?
I would have liked. I just don't think that they're not fit enough. They ain't played enough minutes, have they? I mean, I love Smith Rowe. I absolutely love Smith Rowe. He's one of my favourite players. I love the song Saka and Emil Smith Rowe. I love it all. I think that they are Arsenal born and bred. Love Reece Nelson as well, another one. But Yeah, I don't think they're fit enough. They've never played enough football. Both coming off of injuries. I think I would have played the team he played. I've got no. I know some people have said to me, "Oh, they should have stuck Eddie out on the left," but Eddie's don't really do that. Jesus has done that loads of times for Man City. But all right, maybe it was more the right side than the left. But he's done it loads of times. He can play that position, so I don't have a problem with that. But I did find it a bit weird that he took him off and kept Eddie on because I thought Eddie had a terrible game. Terrible game.
Yeah,
and then I think he was lucky not to get sent off as well. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, when that went in, I was that tackle on the keeper.
When I saw him do that, I thought, well, you're in trouble there, son. You are in trouble, and I'm surprised it didn't go like. I don't think it even went to VAR, did it?
He's like he didn't actually connect with his leg, like he missed him.
Don't look great, though, does it? It didn't look great. He died. He made the tackle 10 yards away, and it's a wet pitch, and he just.
Yeah, it was never getting.
I mean, just quick one on the handball. I definitely thought it was. I thought it was handball. I think he was lucky to stay on the pitch as well, because I think he is handball on the line. Now, I would say if the goalkeeper dives the other way, right, towards where the ball's going, I could probably say, right, the keeper might save that, but the keeper actually dives the wrong way, and Romero stops that with his hand. So, in my opinion, that is definitely a red card.
By the law, it's a penalty. I think it's harsh, man. What can you do? Like, what can you actually do? Just play with no arms now.
But you've got to understand though. You can't stop the ball with your arms. It's not.
No, I understand. That's what I'm saying. By the law, it's a penalty. But as a player, what can you actually do about that? It's not like he's gone. I
don't know. His arms were out.
He's just slid in.
It's for balance, isn't it? It's because he went to his knees, balance. He had to I do think it was a penalty. I thought a red card would have been harsh. Like, I didn't even think red card until you mentioned it.
We didn't get a yellow card. We didn't get anything.
No, I thought definitely a penalty.
What would you do though, Darren? Just
dive.
I don't know what you're supposed to do.
I've done a penguin dive across the line before. I got sent off for it. Got sent off for it for handball.
I don't know what you're supposed to do as a player anymore. It is, by the law, it's a penalty. Red card would have been harsh, but as a football player, what are you actually supposed to do with your arms? You might as well just chop them off at this point.
It was a good game though. I thought, if I weren't an Arsenal fan or a Spurs fan and I watched that, I'd actually think that was an enjoyable game of football because it was quite end to end as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's 2-2. Like it was, people were going to enjoy it.
And Bill did call it.
There you go. Yeah,
let's move on.
Get that one. Get that one right. Right, the next one is Chelsea versus Villa. I just want to say a couple of quick things about this. I think we should be having a serious conversation about Chelsea being relegated at this point. This relegation form. Right, so I've written a couple of things down, right?
I think I've probably got the same stats down as you here because I've got a few things written down about this as well.
Since January, Leicester have scored more Premier League goals still to this day. They're not even in the league. And they just got relegated. Since January, they've won 5 games of football. Enzo Fernandez has only won 2. Luton and Bournemouth.
I did see a stat the other day that Declan Rice has already won more Premier League games at Arsenal than Enzo Fernandez has at Chelsea.
Can we have a serious conversation about him going down? Or no?
I've got some.
I don't think we can have a serious conversation, but we can talk about it.
I've got some stats as well. I'll what Billy said. So okay. So I saw this from TalkSport. So you might have already seen it. So Chelsea have averaged 0.8 points per game over the last 35 matches. So that's pretty much a league season. That would get you relegated in every single Premier League season. You would be bottom or joint bottom of the league with those points in 97, 98, 2005, 2009, 2011, 2014, 2015, and 2018. And the other thing I've got is, they've won 2 league matches since Graham Potter was sacked. And Haaland has scored more times than Chelsea since he signed for Manchester City.
They've only won 2 games of football
since Potter was sacked, yeah.
Wow. And that feels like that was a long time
January.
ago.
It's crazy.
I know. We're not that far away from January again, are we?
We've got whole winter through spring, summer. We're going into autumn. We're going to go back to winter, and they've won 5 games of football.
I've spent £1 billion between that time.
I just feel like it will click for them. It has to, doesn't it? Surely.
I thought this the other day, right? They're going to batter a team about 6-0.
Yeah, you know when they say like you're too good to go down, surely they are too good to go down. They've got £200 million players in their central midfield.
They are too good to go down, obviously, but I mean that form, like that's 35 games. Like, that is a league season. Like,
I get what you're
games.
saying. I get what you're both saying, but I can't believe that they'll get relegated. I just can't.
I don't actually believe it, but the form they're in is relegation form. But as
I did see if
they
you
could
take
probably
away,
stay up on 30 points this season.
Yeah. I did see if you take away the relegation teams and the promoted teams, that Chelsea and Everton are the two bottom clubs.
Yeah, it's in that.
Yeah, like on exactly the same amount of points and everything. And that was like 29 games or something.
It's because they're both managed by Frank Lampard. Common denominator. Yeah. But what I would ask though is we were just having a conversation about how bad the league is, like how bad the bottom sort of 5 teams are. If those teams weren't in the league, do you think Chelsea seriously could go down? Like they're obviously not going to go down ahead of Luton, Burnley, and Sheffield United. But if they weren't in the league, would it be a serious conversation?
We don't know because you don't know who the other 3 teams would be, do you?
Yeah.
Or do you just mean if there was only 17 teams in the league?
Yeah, just take those teams out of the league. Don't replace them with anything. Let's say there's 17 teams in the league. Are they the worst performing team in the league?
Well, I suppose. Yeah, you probably argue they are, aren't they?
Over a long period of time as well.
Yeah. I just feel like it will click for them. Like, it has to, doesn't it?
Like we let Chelsea off last week because we felt sorry for them because we battered them so much. But we just can't. I can't ignore it this week. Like it's got to that point now.
But it's not like I didn't watch the game. Villa game, but I've watched most of their others. It's not like they're not creating anything.
Yeah, lots of saves from Martinez in that game.
Yeah, I mean, this Jackson's horrendous.
I watched a TikTok earlier about a shot that he had.
When the ball
when they make the goal bigger, and for it to go in, and he was only like 9 yards out from goal, the goal would have to be made 300 times bigger.
I did see it.
300% bigger than what a current goal is for that to go in, and he was about 9 yards away from goal.
He said, he had 6 games, 5 yellow cards.
He scored 1 goal.
1 goal, 5 yellows, and now he's suspended. They'll win 6.
Yeah, Sterling assisted him. I had him in my dream team at one point.
I was going to say they'll win next weekend. Oh, excuse me.
Right, they'll go beat Man City now or something.
Probably.
Yeah,
probably. Will. So. Liverpool, West Ham. They just keep winning, didn't they?
Again, yeah, they're just fair play to them.
Games.
I see as well. What they are? Is it 18 games undefeated now? Like in the Premier League from last season.
17.
17,
yeah.
Is it? Yeah. I mean, they're trotting along nicely, aren't they? If I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be sitting there quite happy.
Yeah, and the last team they lost against was Man City.
Oh, there you go then. So I mean, so maybe they are that midfielder, that Hungarian midfielder. It looks like a serious, decent bit of work. Do you know what I mean? It looks like a decent little player.
Yeah, they just need to click, don't they? In midfield, like up front, they've got one of the best attacks in world football, like the depth as well in attacking positions. But their midfield, they've got sort of good players. It just hasn't clicked for them yet. But when it does, they'll be well on their way.
Yeah, that other stat I saw, Salah has scored or assisted in his last 12 Premier League games or something stupid.
Yeah, he's some player.
Yeah, it's outrageous, really.
Yeah, I think I'd still take the money for him in January if someone came in.
Big 100%. Oh mate,
yeah. Invest that wisely, and they'd be on their way.
Yeah,
but not really much to say about that one, is there? West Ham are actually looking all right. I didn't think they got overly battered.
They were in the game.
I only watched Match of the Day. I only watched see all the highlights of that one, but I didn't think they got absolutely fucking hammered. They're looking all right.
They've actually been a lot. Yeah, I was just about to say they've been a lot better than what I thought they would do. To be fair,
they're 7th at the moment. West Ham.
Yeah, but
10 points, not a bad start.
Yeah,
beating Chelsea
compared to last season, everyone beat Chelsea. Apart from Luton.
Right, I'll let you two talk about the next game because I really don't want to. It's Sheffield United 0, Newcastle 8. But I did write one thing down. Sheffield United, just relegate them now. If you're losing 8-0 at home, just stop playing football for a while.
Do you know what I was impressed
with? Take your punishment and get relegated.
I was impressive that they had 8 different goal scorers.
Yeah,
it's a record, wasn't it?
I was going to say that has to be a record, doesn't it?
It was a record, yeah. First time.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, with Newcastle, right, they can do this to teams. Like, remember what they did to Spurs last season? Like, within 20 minutes, they put 5 past them. Like, Newcastle,
Villa.
when they click.
They smacked Villa 5-1 at the start of the season or whatever it was.
Yeah. They can just go on a mad one. And it's scary, Newcastle. They can be really scary, unfortunately.
I thought they played AC Milan, and that was absolutely horrendous game of football. Do you watch the?
I would
game?
Well, I watched it. I didn't think it. I watched it. I thought, away from home to Milan.
First Champions League.
I would take that all day long. You know,
I'd take the point.
Oh right, yeah.
You want to go for a little bit, didn't you? It was an absolute terrible game.
I mean,
first
they
game
were
in
bullied
Europe
a little bit, wouldn't they? Yeah, but
you want to have a little go.
Don't want to be losing 8-0, do you?
Oh no,
they're in probably the hardest group you could have if you pulled out teams to make the hardest group, that would probably be the hardest group, wouldn't it? You know what I mean?
And that was the one That was the one they could have won. AC Milan ain't.
What was it? Dortmund lost to PSG, didn't they, in their group? So PSG got 4 points, on top points. You know, if they can sneak something at Dortmund and concentrate on winning their home games, they might actually sneak through.
Yeah. If they can win their home games, then
if they win 3 of their home games, I know they're probably not going to win. They're probably not going to beat PSG. If they can win, say 2 of the 3 home games, and pick up a few more points, like on the road, they might actually scrape through that.
I don't think the group's as hard as AC Milan ain't very good. Let's be real honest.
I like that. They're all right. They've got the experience. They've got the players. They made the semi-final last year.
Who have they got now?
Yeah, well,
Sebastian Haller,
their best player. Exactly. You're playing a West Ham flop. I don't think Newcastle should get through that group. They're a better side than Dortmund, and AC Milan they've got 3-4 decent players. Apart from that, I don't think there's much going on in any of them teams.
Yeah, you're right about Dortmund. They haven't really replaced. They lost obviously Sancho, Bellingham over the years, Lewandowski, Aubameyang, and they've stopped being able to replace them, and they've not really got the depth.
Haaland,
Haaland, obviously. Yeah, I forgot about him. I try.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an embarrassment, isn't it? Sheffield United, really, at home as well. So
it was that they stopped trying in the second half. They gave up. Like they weren't.
Yeah, but they shouldn't do that. They're professional footballers. They should not
exactly
be doing that. You know,
that's my point.
I don't know how much Sheffield United sell tickets for, but I hope they refunded every single one of them.
Oh, 100%. They should not be getting beaten.
No Premier League team should be losing 8-0 against any team.
No, I always think that. I'm going to throw that even 4-0 is bad. When you lose 4-0 against someone or 5-0, that shouldn't really happen. You know,
especially at home.
Yeah.
It can happen on the road, but at home it shouldn't be.
I don't think it should, though. I don't think it should. I know, Arsenal have been beaten a few times heavily, but
it can. It can.
Imagine getting beaten, mate. It's bad enough. It's bad enough losing at home. You know, even that 2-2 draw on Sunday, I'm not very happy with it. You know. I still think that's 2 points dropped by Arsenal.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I think we are much better than them. But, you know, to lose 8-0.
Yeah.
That's outrageous. It's just outrageous. It's embarrassing. It's outrageous. I ain't got words for it. Were Newcastle that good? Were they that bad?
Sunderland have been done 8-0 before, and it was saddest day of my life. That was Southampton last time we was in the Premier League. We lost 8-0.
You avenged that this season, though, didn't you?
That was a bad old bit.
Smashing 5-0 this season, so you got some revenge.
Yeah, but it shouldn't happen. That was away from home, and I think everyone got refunded then. You should not lose 8-0 at home against anybody if you're a Premier League football team. If you're a championship football team, and you're playing the Premier League team you don't lose 8-0.
No, you set up shop.
They don't.
Yeah, it's just
how many times does a championship club beat a Premier League club?
Yeah,
happens all the time.
I don't know what the scores are at the moment, but there might be a few at the moment.
Thinking that.
Did anyone see the stat about Callum Wilson? It was on the coverage. I know Billy probably wouldn't have watched it, but about his goals per minute or something like that. Like he's right up there for goals per minute. Yeah, they were comparing him to Les Ferdinand, who was on punditry, but he is right up. He's like third for Newcastle for goals per minute. He does score. He comes off the bench a lot, Callum Wilson, and he does seem to score a lot of goals.
He's not a bad player. Look, I've always quite rated him, to be fair, but you need better, don't you? No,
he can't be first choice if they're going to be in the Champions League.
That's why I think that's why they brought Isaac, didn't they? He's a young, up and coming forward, big. Like he could do a bit more timber on. I think he looks a bit lightweight. But
you tell who has surprised me. It's hard to say this. That Anthony Gordon has looked like a brilliant signing.
Yeah.
I think he's looked really good this year.
He was player of the tournament, wasn't he, in the Euros? The under 21, was it under 21, under 17, whatever age group it was that won it.
Yeah. He's looked good.
Oh well, that's enough of Newcastle.
Yeah, please. we'll end that now. Champions League.
Oh, was it? Last game, Champions League.
Predictions. I just want to say how weird it is that Messi and Ronaldo aren't in it anymore.
Yeah. Oh, Joe, I've not even thought of it.
Threw me a bit when I saw it. I saw it the other
day.
Mbappe
and Haaland are the new Ronaldo and Messi, aren't they?
No.
They will be, wouldn't they?
They will never get too like them.
They're still only like 23 years old, remember? Ronaldo won't do it much at 23. Well, how old is Mbappe?
I think he's about 26, isn't he, Mbappe?
No, he can't be.
I think he's like a Rashford age.
I think they're the same age, you know? I think him and Haaland are literally 1 year apart, no?
Oh, no, he's 24.
24, yeah.
24, yeah. So, and Haaland's what, 23? Then Messi and Ronaldo weren't doing that much then, were they?
No, that just proves how unbelievable, especially Ronaldo. I mean, the guy didn't really start scoring, did he, till he was 26?
Yeah. But he started, the last couple of years at Man United, didn't he? He started banging in goals for fun, didn't he? Was it last couple of years?
Yeah.
And that got him the big move to Real Madrid. And then he scored more goals than games at Real Madrid. But then other than, like, we all know other than your Atletico Madrid and your Barcelonas, there ain't really anything else in that league. So you'd expect him to do quite high numbers.
Yeah, but why does no one else do it then?
Well, they do, didn't they? Do they not?
Yeah, Messi.
Didn't Bellingham just score 5 goals in his first 5 Real Madrid games?
Well, Benzema has never. He's only ever scored 25 goals in that league once.
Yeah, and Giroud's better than him. Who's never scored 25 goals in a season ever?
Well, I think he's never scored 20, is he?
I don't think he's got double figures.
I do like Giroud.
I do like Giroud. I really rate. I think he's underrated, Giroud. But yeah, he's not. It shook me a little bit that when I heard it. I thought people are going to turn off because he's just being stupid.
My Arsenal one done all right. Got a lot of people agreeing.
Well, yeah, going back to your Arsenal one actually, and for people that didn't go, what was it? You think the Invincibles were overrated?
No, I think everyone banging on about. I think there's much better achievements than that.
Oh right, because I don't think you can underestimate the achievement that they did, but I think they could have been better, if that makes sense. So they never won.
It's a hell of an achievement.
Yeah, you know,
I just think there's better out there.
Yeah.
I think Leicester winning it trumps it.
Do you think?
Oh, yeah. They were favourites to go down. They won the league.
Yeah, true. But
anyway, Champions League. Right, so we're going to do who we think is going to win, the underperforming team, the top goal scorer, and top player. I'll just say mine right now is pretty Man City heavy.
I've got overachieving team as well, so
have you?
I thought we was doing under and over, but I can be on my own on that one. That's fine.
I can make one up. It's not a problem.
One up?
Yeah. Right, you two go first.
So go on, Andrew. You can do your. What should we do first? Top scorer. We'll mix it up a bit. Top scorer first.
Okay, so top scorer. I've actually gone for Harry Kane. I think Bayern Munich could get into the final, and I think that I just think that Haaland will score loads of goals, but I think he'll score loads in the Premier League, and I don't think he'll score as many in the Champions League this season. I think Kane will be a top scorer.
I went for Haaland.
Fair.
I ain't betting against him.
I'll switch it right up as well. I'll go Mbappe then.
PSG will be out by the time they get to the quarterfinal.
We'll find out.
Top scorer in the Europa League.
He might score 8 goals in the group stage.
Good point. Hopefully against Newcastle.
I'll go Mbappe just to keep it going around.
Right, so go with top player. Who will be your player of the tournament?
Well, it's going to be Ireland.
Andrew, we'll let you go first.
Do you go first? Okay. This is a little bit rogue, but it can happen. It could happen, but I think pieces have to fall into place. No, I thought
you were going to say Declan Rice. I'll be honest with you. I thought he was going down to Declan Rice.
No. I've gone for Phil Foden. And I think this just depends on how much. Like, he's got the ability to do that, to be that player. It's just how much Pep actually plays him. But I think that the final will be Bayern Munich and Man City. Like, obviously, depending on where the draw is. But I think that'll be the final.
Or not.
Yeah. I think that. So
do you think Bayern Munich, changing subject, do you think Bayern Munich are that good then? Because I don't really rate the Bayern Munich team.
The thing is, right, is if the Champions League was like the domestic league is, like a 38-game season, I wouldn't put them in the top 4. But I think in a cup competition, I think that they can go quite far. Like, I think they're a good cup team.
Because the stats at the moment, aren't they? Man City are favourites, aren't they? Real Madrid are second favourites. Then it's Bayern Munich, and then it's Arsenal, believe it or not. Right. But I was saying this the other day. I wouldn't, if I got drawn in Bayern Munich in the second round, that wouldn't faze me, I don't think. Whereas getting Man City, I know you can't get Man City in the second round, but like, stick with me. Getting Man City or Real Madrid, I think, would faze me.
I'd love to get Real Madrid. Not because I think we're going to smash them, but I'd love to get Real Madrid. I'd love to see how we do.
I'd like.
If I'm an Arsenal fan, I want to stay away from Bayern Munich.
No, I want Bayern Munich.
Harry Kane scores. Harry Kane scores.
But, he'll score against us. He'll get a penalty.
He'll score a penalty. Yeah.
But I'm going to change. I'm going to change my player of the tournament and go Jude Bellingham.
Okay.
Because I do think Real Madrid will do all right. I think it could be a Real Madrid Man City final.
I thought of both of them players.
Yeah, but then went
I mixed
completely the other way.
Right up and put Alvarez.
He was unbelievable. I watched the Man City Champions League game the other night. Was it Red Star Belgrade or whoever they played? He was unbelievable.
He is insane.
How old is that guy?
So good. He's 22, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, man. Young. He is some player.
Where'd they even find him? I'd never heard of him before his time for City.
I think he's Argentinian leagues, isn't it? Yeah, River Plate.
Yeah, he did score a lot of goals in that season, but I don't think he'd played many times for him.
He's 23.
Yeah, a bit older, but he's still outrageous.
It's like though they've already got a plan for when Haaland goes to Real Madrid. Like, he will eventually go to Real Madrid.
Well, that's probably what they did it for.
But to get him so early,
and to get him to, I know Haaland and him are like the same age, but he can train off Haaland, can't he? Because Haaland has got that killer instinct straight away, isn't he?
Yeah, can learn a bit more. He's not a Haaland player, is he? He's a bit more. Technical. He likes to get.
He's more of an Mbappe, isn't he? He runs around a bit more. Plays out, like, you wouldn't see Haaland playing out on a wing, would you? Yeah, he's a number 9. He plays up top, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Some team they've got in a couple of years. Just think if they keep Alvarez, Foden, that Doku, they're all going to be like this, like 26, 27 at the same time. This Rico Henry.
Yeah, he's a player.
They're going to have some team.
Rico Henry? What would you mean, Rico Lewis?
Rico Lewis.
That's it. Yeah.
Rico Henry's a Brentford guy.
Lad.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the defender they bought. Is it? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Gavardo or whatever his name is?
Oh, Gavardo.
He's quite young as well, isn't he? He's about
early
24 or something, 25, something like that. Yeah, they've already got like their team for the next 7, 8, 9 years. Bit worrying, really.
Farmers League. It's a Farmers League.
Yeah. All right, then we'll go with underperforming. I'm going to shock you both. Well, I'm going to shock Baron. I've gone Madrid.
You're going to say Arsenal. Oh, you've gone Madrid.
No, I thought you were
going to say Arsenal.
I've gone Real Madrid.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I thought they looked quite bad in that.
I'll be honest, they didn't look that great against Red. Who did they play? They played. I can't remember now. Yeah, they didn't look that great. But I
Union Berlin. They played.
That was it. But then again, that was Union Berlin's first ever game, wasn't it? Like, I don't know what underachievers are really.
They got battered as well by Atletico, didn't they? Just now in their derby, 3-1.
Yeah.
I say battered, but yeah, beaten 3-1. 2 goals for Morata. I mean, if Morata scored a double against you, you've got problems.
Yeah, I don't really know who my underachieving team is.
United? Well, I don't think anyone actually expects them to do right, though, do they? So I don't know if that's underachieving.
Yeah, I don't really expect United to do much. I was thinking maybe one of the Milan teams because they both made the semi-finals and finals. But
yeah,
I'll go into Milan because then they made the final last year because they've sold a lot of players, haven't they?
Yeah, it's fair.
Well, I actually did go Man United. Their fans did expect them to do well. It's Man United, but I don't think they'll get out of the group stage.
Do you know what? I think they'll get out of the group stage. Their group's quite easy.
Yeah, but they're terrible. They are pretty bad.
Yeah, but a bit like the Chelsea thing. They got to come good eventually, haven't they?
Yeah.
Okay, that was definitely.
Well, as I'm making up my overachiever, I'll go Man United. I think they will get out of the group stage, and I think they'll probably get through the next rounds. I don't think I can see them getting than that.
Yeah, I mean, they did just. You just said Bayern Munich are one of your favourites to get to the final. They only just lost to them.
Yeah, but
they went to the Burn. They went to the Burn. They didn't go to the Bernabeu. They went to the Allianz Arena. Scored 3 goals there.
Yeah, they did. I still just don't. I guess I've seen a lot of Man United, like obviously big in the Prem, and from what I've seen of Man United, I know they did get 3 goals, but they just don't really look like a team. I'll tell you what. If Harry Kane was in the Man United team, not the Bayern Munich team, I would go the other way. I'd reverse those two. That's the difference.
Yeah,
they've got that striker. Yeah, they've got that world-class striker. Yeah. Man United don't have that. I mean, I know Højlund probably will come good, but give it a season, maybe.
Yeah, he's not scoring the Harry Kane goals, though, is he?
No, exactly.
How many people do, though, do they?
No.
Yeah. Right, overachievers. Just to cheer Bill up, I'll go Newcastle.
Cheers.
Yeah. If they get out, you just said
you just said they might not get through that group, and now you're stick them in overachievers.
But I think if they do get out of that group, they'll have overachieved.
I'm changing my underperforming to Arsenal.
That's it. Penn's gone.
Hang on, we can't change to Sunderland because they're not in it.
Oh wow, he's gone there.
That's a hell of an observation, Andrew. Well done.
He's gone there. Yeah, I wonder how close any of us will be. So who do you actually think is going to win it?
Can I do my overachiever before we move on? Is that all right?
Oh, sorry, have you not done that?
No. I did write 2 down. Yeah, I did write 2 down. One of them was Newcastle, so the Arsenal underperformance was probably justified. But the other one was Union Berlin. I actually was quite impressed with them, considering how they did against Real Madrid.
I thought about them a minute ago. Yeah,
I think they'll do all right.
I don't think that they've got enough about them.
I think they'll get out of the group, and I think that is overachieving. It's their first season ever in the Champions League. I think that they'll get out of the group, so I think that's my overachiever.
Who have you gone for your winner?
So I've gone City. I think City will win it easily. To be honest, I don't think there's really.
I think City will probably win it as well.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they could do another treble, or do you reckon quadruple
easily? I think they could easily do it. If they want to, they will do it because they've got the players to do it.
They're the best team in the world by quite a distance. Like Real Madrid, for me, is the second best team in the world, and they're miles off City.
Yeah, because they ain't got a striker. They ain't got a Harry Kane.
They're playing Joselu from Stoke,
who was who must be about 35 himself now.
Yeah,
they spent No one said anything about Barcelona.
No, I thought about them. But...
No, I think they need a good couple of years. They're a big old rebuild, aren't they, Barca?
Yeah.
I think they need a few more years.
Apparently, they didn't spend a penny in the summer.
But they still signed that Gundogan and they just signed all these free agents, didn't they?
Yeah. But they're still a name, aren't they? A bit like Man United, didn't they? Sign all these world-class players, but they're still just shit.
Yeah, and they always will, won't they? They'll always sign these big players.
They'll always be one of the favourites because it's the brand, isn't it?
I don't know how Barca have bought anyone, though, in the last 3 years. It still confuses me how they're having to get
around
rid of people's wages Like PK, will you half your wages, please, so we can buy Lewandowski?
They pretty much forced him to retire in the end, just so that they could survive as a club. Like they didn't force him to, but he did it. He wouldn't have done it if Barcelona weren't in the trouble they were in.
They're in financial crisis, and they're buying Lewandowski, Gundogan, and fucking. They just kept.
How much is Gundogan on a week?
It's got to be a good old whack, and Lewandowski must be on a couple of hundred, surely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that Barcelona will end up getting pushed down the league. I think they're going to end up going the same way as Juventus. Like I think that they're doing something. Yeah, I think they're eventually. Like it'll take a few years, but I think that there's something going on there.
I think they'll get thrown out the league.
The only other thing I don't understand about Barcelona is they don't want to be in Spain, do they? They want to be their own separate thing.
Catalonia.
Yeah, that's it.
So would they be kicked out of the Liga? How can you play in the Spanish league if you don't want to be Spanish? I know we've got Cardiff and Swansea.
They don't want to be part of Spain, do they? It's not so much the Spanish league.
So how can you play in the Spanish league?
They want their own like almost like their own country, don't they? A bit like what Scotland try and do sometimes. But they can go. They can go. Scotland can go. I don't care. Like, quit winding me up.
Bye.
Go away. If you want to be your own people, be your own people. Same with Liverpool. You want to be your own place, be your own place. Go away.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So if they don't want to be part of Spain, surely they can't play in the Spanish leagues.
Yeah, because what is it? Atletico Bilbao, didn't they? They only pick players from their county.
Yeah, I keep thinking about that.
I know it's not called a county, but
from their region.
They only sign players. Mate, how you must be throwing your whole. Bad. I mean, I just don't understand how they do it, and they do find some decent players, don't they? Like Laporte come from there.
Yeah.
That guy you used to sign on Football Manager come from there. Iker Munian,
or whatever his name is. Yeah.
Yeah, do you remember him? That he seemed to buy every time he managed the club. You seemed to buy him. Took him everywhere.
Yeah, he was good on FM. I had even Neymar at one point at Spurs.
Figures about this whole Barcelona and the Spanish league though. If they decide to leave in Spain or whatever, and they do that, I mean, it would ruin the Liga because a lot of their sponsorships and all of that stuff comes from Barcelona. They're like one of the most well-known clubs in the world.
But then it would just go to another club, wouldn't it?
But could you imagine if they do that? Can you imagine if it's like, okay, so anyone that was born in Catalonia can't play for Spain, and Spain be fucked, like well and truly fucked.
Yeah,
there's probably loads of them.
They don't want to do it.
Yeah,
how many players play for Barcelona
I think
that
it
were born in
was
Catalonia?
Not many. Not anymore, but they did at one point.
Yeah, there was.
In that World Cup squad, I think there was 5. I think there was, in that World Cup squad, I think there was 5 players from that area.
Yeah. Might not be the same now.
No, yeah. Now, obviously, their team's well different. But have you not seen that stat where they actually played 11 graduates? Like Barcelona Youth Academy players in a game.
Really?
They started off with 10. Like, they all came out of their youth team. And it was like when Messi was like in his prime, that Busquets, PK, Jordi Alba.
Fabregas.
What's the Man United? Man United have a rule, didn't they? Yeah. Where they got to play one player at least from their
academy
that has graduated from. Yeah, and I think they've done it for the last God knows how many years. So every single match in the 11, there will be at least one player that's come from.
For the last 8 years, it's been like Marcus Rashford, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I didn't know that. I've not heard that one before.
I didn't know that.
I like it as well
about their games when they've been winning 1-0 at half time.
Yeah,
I saw it the other day. I can't remember how many games it is now, but it's absolutely ridiculous. Basically, if Man United win at half time, they win a game.
Yeah.
Well, they've
only drawn like 3 of them as well.
Yeah,
they've only drawn like 3 of them as well. So actually, it is an absolutely outrageous stat.
It's been going on for years and years.
I'm sure they said the last time they lost it.
Yeah,
but I can't remember who it was.
I can't remember what it was. Last time.
I didn't know that.
It was like 2014 or something ridiculous. Are you trying to find it?
Yeah. It's absolutely crazy stat.
I know that Arsenal had one where we haven't lost in 36 games when we was leading.
When did you say, Baron? 2014?
Was it 2014?
1984. They haven't lost a game at Old Trafford when they've been 1-0 up at half time since 1984.
That
is ridiculous.
That is a ridiculous stat.
That's
I must say something different.
Mental.
It definitely weren't 1984. So I think I'd have remembered something like that.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of a Man United game where.
Have you seen the Gabriel Jesus stat?
What was this?
He has never lost a game when he's scored in it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And it's like 60. Yeah, it's like 69 games or something ridiculous. It's quite a high number. Do you know what I mean? Considering he's never lost a game that he's scored in.
That's mad.
Maybe on next week's episode, we should just all go out and find like the most outrageous stat and just see which is the best.
Craziest stat ever.
I like that.
This is. I've just found the actual thing. Yeah, so that's 313 games where they've been leading at half time. They have won 290 of them. They've only drew 23. And they've obviously lost none. That's actually ridiculous. 39 years.
Yeah, fair play. Fair play.
I mean, they can't win a game away, but
at home they're pretty solid. Yeah. That's why they're not in the relegation zone.
Yeah, Chelsea need to take note.
I was watching some bloke rant about Chelsea. I was watching some bloke rant about Chelsea actually earlier on TikTok or whatever it was I was watching. Oh mate, yeah. He was just like, I've got 3 jobs I have, and I come and watch this, and they lose every week. I was thinking, well, it's time to stop going, mate.
Did he leave the job as well? So did he? He left his job because it cut into like his Chelsea going to the game.
Yeah, it might have been. I was finding it so funny. I just had to stop watching it. Really.
Well, Baron, what do you think about the Ivan Toney links with Arsenal?
I think we need him. I'd have brought him in the summer and tried to get a little bit of a knockdown deal on him. But I don't think it will happen
at the moment.
Yeah, I think he can. He just can't play. But I don't think it will happen personally.
You don't? Do you think he'll go Chelsea?
They'll go whoever pays 80-90 million for him. And I don't think Arsenal are going to spend that sort of money now. Do you know what I mean? In January.
Talking of for him. If Chelsea go for him, right, have you seen what's going on at Napoli at the moment? Like, it's completely all gone to shit at Napoli. I don't know if you've heard that they're turned on the manager. Like, Osimhen was publicly having a go at him. It's just gone mental at Napoli. Like, they've completely fallen apart. So I reckon, that might be on the cards for someone in January or in the summer. Yeah. Because Napoli have just gone to... Yeah. I'd rather have Toney just because he's Premier League pro.
Oh, 100%. I always would rather buy players from inside the Premier League because, like you say, you know how they play.
Yeah. But I would...
I mean, you go spend 100 million on Osimhen and he comes in and he flops. It's a big money in it to like...
That's literally what Chelsea have been doing. They've been buying these players from abroad, like Mudryk, and I know it's still early days, and none of them are doing it. So we don't want to do the same thing.
No, I think there's a massive let off for that Mudryk, wouldn't there? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, he might have played a bit better.
Yeah. One more thing on Chelsea. I do think one world-class striker changes their whole thing. If they get a Toney or someone like that, there will be a completely different side. That's all they're missing at the moment.
I think there's one other position, right? They need to get Conor Gallagher out of that team. I do not rate him at all, not a single bit. If they can replace him and get a striker in, then 100%.
Yeah, I don't really rate him, to be fair. I
don't think they really need to replace him, do they? They've got Lavia, who's been injured.
Well,
Casado and Enzo will be their midfield three.
Especially because they're not keeping clean sheets either, really, are they? I mean, they did the other week, but you'd think they'd probably play Enzo and Casado sort of like as holding, and then have like massive up front. Do you know what I mean? Like have them all: Sterling, Mudryk, whoever else.
Have they got a creative midfielder, like a central creative midfielder?
Enzo's meant to be it. I mean,
I think when Lavia comes
he's a holding, but he can still create, especially if he's got Casado in the team.
Yeah, I think it'd be Lavia, Casado. They'll do the holding, and Enzo will play a bit forward. So you get him on the ball just outside the box and stuff.
Don't let him take a penalty.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think? I think that Chelsea should have signed McAllister instead of one of those players, because McAllister would be perfect in front.
Yeah, but he was all the couple of games I've seen McAllister. He's been
but he's been playing as a sitting midfield. It's not his job. That's not what he does. Like if he was playing in front of Lavia and Casado, like at Brighton, he was playing in front of Casado. Look what he did.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you're not wrong.
I think Enzo can do that job no problem. I think Enzo would do quite well there.
I do rate that Enzo.
Just in front of them. Just in front of them too.
I just think it's going to click, isn't it, eventually? They are just going to... Yeah. You think they've had, whatever it is, 30, 40 players come in and out the door, 3 different managers, new owners. It's just all in a bit pear-shaped for him, but it's going to eventually click.
Will he get time? Will he get time?
I think he will. I think he will. Yeah, I think they'll give him time, because they've already done the sacking of the manager and said it's not worked. And they put whoever it was in charge, and they put Frank Lampard in charge, and I mean that just don't work, does it?
Is he going to Leon? Sorry, the thing there. Just like I'm sure Lampard is like favourites for one of the, like a Leon or a Lille or someone like that.
I see John Terry's about to become the director of football at one of the Al Hilal clubs.
Oh, is it? I didn't say that. I think he'd be good. John Terry is I think he'd be a decent manager, to be honest. I don't know why but what's going on?
He's Lampard's one of the favourites for the Leon job. I don't know how the hell these people still get jobs. I don't understand it.
It's their name, isn't it? It's got to be the name.
He has to get it right, though, this one. If he don't get this one right, he's done. There's no way he can get a management job.
Yeah, because if you actually think about it, his last Chelsea run actually doesn't look that bad now, does it? I know he didn't win a game, but neither has anybody.
No, this is Graham Potter.
Yeah, he can just be like, well, it was Chelsea. Fair enough, Lampard. Fair enough.
Imagine being sacked by Chelsea twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you had to put money right now on the next manager to be sacked in the Premier League, who would you put your money on?
Tenard. Players are going to turn.
I'm not sure. I know where you're going with this. I'm not sure I would on Poch, because I do think they'll give it. He's a good manager, mate. He's one star. He got Spurs. Yeah, I can't see them sacking him. He's quite a big name, isn't he? He's quite a household name.
If not Poch, who would you put your money on? If not Poch.
Probably that Higginbottom after.
That's who I was thinking.
How many times they're going to let that happen? I mean, if they lose, who they got the weekend? I don't know who they got the weekend, but if they lose 4-0 or 3-0 at the weekend, they'll probably think, right, just get rid of him now, because they're obviously not playing for him.
Yeah,
because I reckon you could have put 11 of us, and we wouldn't have lost fucking 8-0 to Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? Because you would have stand there, wouldn't you? You'd defend.
No, it would have been 108-0.
Literally would have been. They've got West Ham away next game.
Imagine us trying to run after Anthony Gordon.
No.
Well, I mean, maybe not now.
Throw something at him.
Maybe not now, but in your prime, Bill.
Oh,
I could never run then.
But
that would be fucked.
Yeah, they've got. Would you say they've got West Ham away?
West Ham away, yeah. Sheffield United.
Yeah, they're not winning that, are they? I might put a couple of West Ham players in my fantasy football team.
Oh, I wanted to say something while we're on fantasy football. Hughes ignored it the other day. How's your old wild card? Like, what's your actual opinion on your wild card? Like, full on, what is your...
You know what? I said at the start of the show that I was going to talk about the wild card, and then I forgot. So I didn't. And it was even like my thumbnail and everything, and I just didn't talk about it. I was like, shit. I mean, let's be honest. Right? So last week, I was like, yeah, I did the right thing. This week, if I hadn't used my wild card, I'd have hit over 100 points, like easily. Like every single player, Johnson in goal, Mitoma, like Estepinian got an assist, like every single player, Bruno scored. Like I would have been absolutely away this week. Like every player did well for me. That I would have had, other than Martinelli. He was like the only one. So I don't regret the timing that I used it. I'm not sitting there thinking, oh, I used it too early, but I should have kept some of the players that I shouldn't have taken.
I'm debating about using mine this week. My wild card.
You get two, so
yeah. Well, that's what you said, isn't it? I've got that bloke who got sent off for Chelsea in my team. Saka is now a doubt.
Yeah.
Rashford, I think I've had enough of Rashford now.
I'm glad I took him out.
I'm done with Rashford. I think now there's only so much I can let a £9 million player like be rubbish. Do you know what I mean? So I think that might be the end of that. And I'm thinking if I only want to make 2, I might just spend the 4 points. But the fact that there is probably 3 or 4 players I want to take out, I might go for a big change up.
Yeah, I've made 1 transfer so far, and I might take a 4-point hit to get maybe Alvarez back in, but I'm not sure yet.
I mean, last week, I honestly, I couldn't have gone any worse. I did my wildcard the week before. This week, I took out Son, who scored 2 goals. I put in Alvarez, and I swapped another player and spent 4 points because obviously Son's a midfielder. So to get a midfielder out and then a striker in, I had to make 2 changes. So basically, I spent 4 points, took out Son, who scored twice, and put in Alvarez that got 1 point. So I really couldn't have gone much worse for me the week.
Yeah, I had a poor. I also had a poor week.
I'm sure you were second when you done your wild card.
No, I was third. I was behind you both, but I'm now further behind you both.
Tom made me laugh with his comments that I've closed the gap. Well, technically you didn't because you got 70 points and Bill got 73 points, so you're actually further away now.
I still got the least amount of points. Like I thought I did all right. I was like, oh yeah, I got like 56 points or something. I thought that's not too bad. And then I
had a poor week. I also made a change of taking Núñez out, but I've only gained 5 extra points, so I'm not that worried about it. If that makes sense.
My bench was annoying. I had Maddison on the bench, who got 9.
I did have him in. I got Maddison's points. Because I had no one else I could have taken out. But I put Lamptey in thinking, oh yeah, he did well for Brighton when he started. He's not injured, he'll start. Fuck off, did he? He was on the bench. He came on in like the 80th minute. So I got a point for him because he come on in like the last 10 minutes. Fatty the same, came on with like 15 minutes to go, got a point. So
when I saw Fatty in your team, I did think like he hasn't started.
That one was the risk. That one was, I reckon, like I was trying to put someone in that no one else had to try and make some points up, like just one person.
Like my Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, it worked for you.
Neto.
It just didn't work.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Neto. You know, he's scored. He's assisted every single game week. Every single one.
I think
he hasn't not had points yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a little think. I'm gonna wait for these games over the weekend, over the week, just in case someone else gets injured, and then Friday I might sit down and have a little proper look.
See how it goes. Is there Friday night football? Let's have a look. No Friday night football. We've got 12:30 game this week. 12:30 game is back.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like the 8 o'clock kickoff.
No, me either. It's just if I'm working, it's just I'm coming home, so I missed like the first half hour.
It worked for me. I was out.
I've not going. I'm a bit bored of football now. Whereas
I'm all day at
she's
work,
at work
so
she's at work at the half 12 game, so I like the half 12 game.
Yeah, have you seen it's a double game week for Luton and Burnley?
Still not putting any of their players in my team.
No, me either.
So I was trying to say, I had a painter come around my house, right, to give me a bit of a quote, and he's in one of my fantasy leagues, and he went, "Oh, you're not thinking about chucking in like a Burnley or?" I was like, "Mate, absolutely not."
You know what?
Who do you put in?
Yeah, I don't even know who I'd put in from Burnley. I
couldn't name you a Luton player I think might be worth putting in.
The only one is the guy that scored their only goals, isn't he? He scored twice now.
Yeah, they're penalty taker, just in case.
It's the only one you can. It's the only one you can even think about.
Yeah. And that other guy scored loads of goals in the Championship as well, didn't
he? Yeah.
Whatever his name is, the one that begins with an A. And Brighton and Burnley's team, I don't know. I would have thought they'd been quite defensively sound, but they're just shocking.
Yeah, because they've got each other, haven't they?
Yeah,
they play each other. But then Luton have Everton. I think Everton will beat them quite easily. And Burnley have Newcastle. You ain't going to have any of them in there, are you? For any of them games?
No, everyone will beat Luton, apart from maybe Burnley. So there's no point in putting anyone from Luton in. But I did just notice that it's Liverpool-Tottenham next week, and obviously we're not going to have another show until after. So should we quickly do a prediction for Liverpool-Spurs?
Yeah, well, I was actually thinking about putting Song into my team after his 2 goals. But then when I saw that they got Liverpool, I thought, well, that's just pointless because he's probably not going to score another 2 goals, is he? So
Spurs at home as well.
So Spurs are at home?
Yeah, so I had Son in my team, right? I had Son in my team for one game. The game before I put him in, he scored a hat trick. The game after I took him out, he scored 2 goals. The game in between, he didn't do anything.
I'm gonna throw out here, right? This is where I think sometimes you got to think about it. Things a little bit like he's not Ireland, is he? Do you know what I mean? If he scored a hat trick, I would never think about putting him in my team because he probably ain't gonna score in the next game because they just don't do that, do they? How often do you see someone score a hat trick and they don't score for 5 games? And then they bang it like Evan Ferguson kind of getting back in the Brighton team. He scored a hat trick.
He was injured though, Evan Ferguson.
Yeah, I suppose. But yeah, I thought it was a weird one, putting it in and taking him back out straight away. I did think that was a bit strange.
Yeah, to be looking back at it, yeah, it probably was quite reactionary. It's because I wanted to get Alvarez in. It was the only way I could free up the funds.
Yeah.
So, and because they were playing Arsenal, I was I had my tinted glasses on. Oh yeah,
because I've got about.
He ain't gonna do shit.
I've got a bit of money in my bank at the moment, so I can do a bit of changing around.
Yeah, I've got 1.5 mil left on mine. Madison's injured, isn't he?
He's a doubt. Yeah, I've just seen that. I don't really want to take him out.
But back to what Andrew was saying, prediction for that game, I reckon it will be a draw. Don't see Liverpool losing against Tottenham, but I'm going
to go Liverpool win.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to go with a Liverpool win. Tight game, 2-1, 3-2. That'd be nice. 3-2 on a Sunday, like that.
Both defences are quite open, aren't they?
Yeah, I'll go 3-2. I'll go 3-2 because I think Salah likes to go against Spurs today. I think might be making that up.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, I want a draw because I don't want Liverpool or Tottenham getting too many points. So I've been hoping for a draw. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a draw.
Has anyone thought about triple captaining Haaland this week against Wolves? No. Too early.
I won't triple captain him until he gets a double game week.
Yeah, you don't know who that's against, though, do you?
I could go through it and have a look if I wanted to, but I'm sure it'll be.
But don't teams only get double game weeks when they're like knocked out the cup and City win a quadruple?
Not always. Not always, because like around Christmas time, didn't they? They have like double game weeks and games come quick and fast. And like you say, games get cancelled or whatever, change. Everyone does generally get double game weeks.
I'm tempted, but they're away. I know that doesn't matter because Man City will beat them. But if it was at home, I probably would have done it this week.
Yeah, I'm going to wait. I'm going to definitely wait.
I'm going to wait for City v Luton and just...
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Because you could. They could have Luton and Sheffield United or something in the same game week. Like if it's a double game week, you get them two.
That's what I mean. Imagine doing it. Because I did do a few years ago, Sterling, when he was on fire for City, he played someone, I'm sure he did. And I triple captained him, sorry. And he ended up with like 120 points on his own. He scored like 4 goals in 2 games and got an assist. And it was just mad.
I reckon if City have a double game week with teams like Luton and Sheffield United, I would bet anything that he is on the bench for one of those games. There is absolutely
especially if they've got a Champions League.
Yeah,
if they're in all League game around it.
If they're in all competitions, there's no way.
It's one player who doesn't really rest, though, is it? It's one player who really doesn't rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't.
You're pretty safe with Edison or Haaland. Them two and Rodri.
That's why that is why they're both
three will always be in the team.
Yeah. That's why they're both my dream team, Edison and Haaland, because it's just too hard to pick Man City players because he just got so many good ones. Like you could even Arsenal's team, you could pick probably 4 or 5 Arsenal players that you know are going to be on that starting lineup. Do you know what I mean? So you know that they're safe bets to have. You know, your Saka, your Martinelli, Saliba. You know they're going to be in that team. You know, Declan Rice. I mean, I wouldn't have Declan Rice because I don't have holding midfielders, but you know that they're just going to be in the team every game. Odegaard as well. Yeah, forgot about him for a minute. So you know they're going to be in the team every week. So like, you ain't got a problem with that. I mean, Saka's just played 86 games in a row. Premier League games
I have stuck with Doku though, because I think he deserves another chance after he got whipped.
Apparently, he played really well. Was unlucky to get. Yeah,
I really like him.
Apparently, he played really well. He was unlucky to get subbed off because he was the man that got pulled, wasn't
he? Yeah, that's Grealish done, ain't it? I think at City.
You think?
Yeah.
What's happened to
him? Chances, is he?
He's injured.
What's happened to it? Yeah, he was doing good.
But I can't see him getting back in over that Doku when he comes back.
I've never been a massive fan of him anyway, to be fair.
I think he was brilliant last season. Like after the World Cup,
he was all right last season.
If City don't want him, he'll be
after we called him out. after we called him out and said that he don't do enough.
He done a shitload.
He done loads, yeah.
Let's not
He'll
do that.
He'll be at Chelsea. He'll be at Chelsea for 200 mil next.
God. Too well.
Yeah. Well, I think that's about it for today.
Yeah, a bit of a longer episode today. Lots to talk about. Lots of fun.
Andrew,
my internet held
tomorrow.
out.
Yeah, tomorrow 7 p.m. with the FPL show because I want to watch Arsenal at 8. So 7 p.m. FPL show.
And then Thursday,
and I reckon
on. No unpopular opinions.
On Friday, I think I'm gonna. On Friday, I think I'm gonna have a rant.
Oh, he's gonna go for it.
Aaron's rant's back. I reckon Friday.
What are you gonna go with? You're gonna have a little think.
I'll have a little think. Rant about something.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Arsenal getting knocked out of the Carabao Cup.
Do you know what? I'd have more of a rant if he plays like. Well, I was chatting about this in one of my group chats a minute ago. If he plays like the full starting 11, I want to see some of the youngsters. I want to see Smith Rowe start. I want to see that Kabkawa start or whatever his name is, the Polish defender.
Oh, Kvyat. I just don't want us to get knocked out in the third round again. Like, I don't expect us to like put our full strip team out, but I just think we need to give these cups a decent try this season because we keep.
100%.
I think if you weren't in the Champions League, then yeah, but the League Cup. You don't need to be in that,
especially when you're plastered as 4 favourites to win the Champions League. That's got to be the one you're going for, isn't it?
Yeah,
Premier League, FA Cup, Champions League, League Cups.
I just want to see a bit more of a fight. Like, obviously, I don't want him to play in Saka, Odegaard, and all of that. But the second string team need to step it up because they need to show why they should be in the first team. I want us to actually show something this season.
Quick shout out for Ipswich, who are beating Wolves at the moment.
Are they? They're in my bet.
Yeah, Ipswich are beating Wolves, yeah. I'm just going to go triple captain Haaland after all. Wolves are shit.
Fucking hell. United are 3 up.
Who are they playing?
Jesus. Martial has scored a goal.
Who are they playing?
Casemiro scored again.
Oh, Palace. Oh.
And Garnacho. Garnacho's a good player. I like him.
Wolves were 2-0 up as well.
They
were 2-0 up. They're now losing 3-2.
Oh, no.
I went for a bit of underdog bet today.
Gary O'Neill is not.
You know what I mean? And Luton could have beat that team with 10 men. They ain't winning a game this season.
I think you might be right. With the Luton shout. They do just look awful.
I wonder how much it would have been odds-wise for Luton not to win a game this season, because it surely must have been quite high.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think it will be now.
Evens, yeah. Oh, God.
Right, yeah. Andrew's back tomorrow. Me and Tom are back Thursday. And then
Rant Friday.
Rant Friday from the Baron. That'll be on the socials.
And then we'll be back on, I think it's probably Monday next week because Champions League is on.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Sounds good. Do you want to do the old outro, Baron?
Yeah, thank you for listening again. This is episode something.
11.
Episode 11. I should really know, really. I'm a terrible host, but, yeah. Right, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a long one tonight, but it's all still good. Keep in touch, keep in tune. Don't forget to send us messages. We will give you shout outs if you message us. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Football feast, this the football feast, extra podcast, hey, football feast, extra podcast, playing soccer, grab your keys, playing soccer, time to meet, playing soccer, time to greet, they finna talk a lot, okay, playing soccer, get the cleats, playing soccer, let's get it, playing soccer, let's go, football podcast.